College Football presented by McDonald's. We're in Baton Rouge. That's the hump, the traffic to get into AEW Mumford Stadium outside. You know about the smoke, the grill, all the good grub, but you gotta remember, we're in Louisiana, folks, so we need some of that red beans and rice as well. Don't forget, the Southern Jaguars, happy that it's their first home game. They are stepping, line dancing, and ready to go. It's the big cats of the SWAC. We're talking about the Tigers of Jackson State and the Southern University Jaguars as we say hello and welcome you in. What's up, fam? Along with the former Howard University and NFL quarterback Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Green. Now, we know that these two teams just don't like each other. It doesn't matter when or where they meet each other. They just don't do each other.
And that's what rivalry football is all about. You're talking about two of the blue bloods of the SWAC. They've got history with each other. It's a heated history. Passionate fan bases, great football players on both sides of the field. That's what makes for the excitement. And speaking about excitement, I don't know if there's a more electrifying place right now in America in the black college football landscape than here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field is rocking.
Hey, the commissioner of the SWAC, Charles McClellan, said this is the best tailgate. Meanwhile, when you take a look at these two teams, what to expect? We saw a tale of two Jackson States in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and T.C. Taylor wants Jackson State to come out in the stab set. They're the more physical team on both sides of the ball. He wants to control the trenches. His offensive and defensive linemen are going to be the key so their skilled position players can take over.
Southern known to put up points but held to just 10 last weekend. What do they have to do?
Head coach Eric Dooley, he's a tempo guy. He wants to go full speed all the time on offense and defense. Offensively, he wants to challenge you, up-tempo offense. And on defense, they have to continue to make great adjustments. The defense played great a week ago. They need the offense to catch up.
Well, down on the sideline in his third game as head coach of the Jackson State, two foes meet again in the 2023 football season. Southern set to receive, touchback, and we will get a first look at the Jaguars and their offense coming in after that loss to Alabama State, 14-10, that Labor Day Classic. And now Eric Dooley gets a chance to show us how this team looks to rebound.
And quarterback play is going to be the key. So
as Jackson State is celebrating, Southern just kind of lost in the shuffle right now. Not sure after Dupree Fuller, the tight end, made the catch and then coughed it up.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look at this one. And looking at it in real-time speed, I don't think he caught that ball and was able to make a football move.
Right now, taking another look at it here to see if indeed Dupree Fuller had possession. The call. And we had some audio issues right there, but Preston Clipper just essentially said an incomplete pass. So Southern will come back onto the field with their offense. And that brings up 3rd down and 5.
Empty backfield. Look for some of the crossing routes. Jackson State playing man-to-man coverage.
Quickly getting out of his hands underneath, and still on his feet, bounced around is George Qualls Jr., but he's short of the marker, and that'll bring up 4th down. So that was snuffed out by the Tigers defense. They were ready for it, looking everywhere. And now here.
No, they're looking like they want to go for it on 4th down, but
whoa,
I don't think this is the time for you to do that. Too early in the game.
And the ball on your own 39-yard line. So now the switch has been made, and with 9 seconds to go on the play clock and counting, will they be able to get it off in time? I don't think so. And Eric Dooley has to spin a timeout on the opening possession of this game.
First time out of the half.
To punt the football. To punt it away. One of those things you see Dooley there along with longtime assistant coach Terrence Graves. Coached here under Pete Richardson as well. That's one there when you're in these type of games, conference games, you want to manage your clock management a little bit better, but when we come back, they'll kick it away. Jackson State's ball on offense.
The U.S. Open.
7 McGee, And McGee has it bobble off and go out of bounds as McGee was called up for this game for the Tigers. So now a chance to take a look at Jason Brown, and what type of Jason Brown will we see? We asked T.C. Taylor what he thought. He said, you know what? That's just another chip on our shoulder to prove just exactly what we have after bringing in 60 or 70 new guys. Now on third down, 4 yards to gain, got to get to the 45. Brown feeling the pressure, gets it out quickly, and pass dropped by Stevens. Taj Brown bringing that pressure up front.
Absolutely, and a great job by number 9, Taj Brown, throwing off the timing and rhythm of this from his defensive line position. He was an interior lineman, but look at him adjust. Played the ball carrier, get to the quarterback, force him to throw it earlier. That's a great defensive play by number 9, Taj Brown.
So 3-and-out series on the opening possession for Jackson State. T.C. Taylor's team comes in with a win and a loss. And Matt Knoll back to punt it away. Gets it off, and Whitfield immediately calling for a fair catch as it bounces inside the 15 and down at the 14-yard line of Southern University. Well, among the conversations that we had with Eric Dooley this week about his group coming in as the defending SWAC West champions, he said, we didn't have the outing that I expected us to have against Alabama State. We just couldn't get things going. We didn't hurt ourselves, but when we did have some penalties, they were inopportune times. So he said, I'm changing things a little bit. I'm changing my approach, and I'm challenging myself to do some things different.
Yeah, the good sign is you have defense. You know, one thing with Eric Dooley, offensively, they're going to get together and score points. If the defense can continue to play like they did last week, look out. This can be a very dangerous Jaguar football team.
Man in motion. That's Colby Washington with a handoff up the gut. And brought down by Athens Smith after a gain of 5 by Gary Quarles Jr.
And what a good get that was for Gary Quarles. He was an all-SWAC running back at Alabama A&M for the past 2 seasons, interest into the portal, and he's the type of running back that does not like to leave the field. You put him in there on pass protection, he can run routes, he can run hard between the tackles. He's just a solid football player, and he'll be a good addition to this team.
And you see there the running style, the never give up type of attitude that Gary Quarles Jr. brings to the football field. He's polished, but he's got that physical nature like you talked about, Jay.
Really fun to watch. And he's a guy in the passing game. You don't have to take him out. He can run great routes out the backfield, can make you miss in the open field. Throwback football player. Kind of similar like Marshall Faulk was like that in the NFL. Marshall Faulk didn't have to leave during passing situations. Defensive coordinators hate that because you don't have to tip your hand whether it's a run or a pass.
Now on first down. Quarles once more tried to bounce off, but nowhere to go, and that's Jaheim Hazel. Hazel, who has been a disruptor on defense the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Hazel comes in at the cornerback position, but playing the slot nickel, recognizes Quarles has nowhere to bounce it to, makes the tackle. Hazel's really opened up some eyes. NFL scouts are curious about the transfer from Wofford. He's come in right away and earned a starting spot in a very talented defense.
We saw him have a couple of block kicks last weekend down in Miami, and the pressure as he's brought down. Harold Blood could not escape Devontae Davis, and Davis, double D, doing his thing.
T.C. Taylor said he wants his team to be more physical, and we see number 97 getting it done from the snap, gets right around his blocker. That's Garrett Newsom, number 70 for Southern, has to do a better job, but anytime you can get disruptors from the interior defensive line, big plus for the defense.
Now a big 3rd and 14 coming up from the Jaguars' 20-yard line.
Watch Quarles out of the backfield if they can get him the ball.
Blood was looking, instead finds an open man, and that's George Quarles Jr. George Quarles Jr. coming over from UT Martin, and that'll move the chains for a first down. Good throw there from Harold Blood.
Yeah, good job by Blood. And I like this. He's looking, and he doesn't find his first receiver. Buy some time, allow Quarles to separate. Wide open throw, able to make it now. I'm curious as to where they marked it. It seemed like where he caught the ball, but he might have bobbled it. And so they might have moved him back behind the first down yardage. They're saying 4th and 1.
And Eric Dooley is saying, well, I beg to differ there. He felt like his wide receiver was robbed of some extra yardage.
Take a timeout. Now I think it's worth it to take a timeout now and ask the officials to take a look at it. Instead, you're thinking about going for it on 4th and 1. If you don't get it, huge. You're basically giving them the ball in scoring position.
Dooley taking that gamble here on 4th and 1. They hand it off, and the first down is gotten by Kendrick Rhymes. The quick burst, and a guy who fits perfectly into this offense for Dooley.
That's gutsy. 4th and 1, you're backed up on your own 35-yard line going in. Nothing says you go for in that situation unless you're just trying to kickstart this offense and get the early lead. Sense of urgency.
Blood looking, makes a throw on the outside, and it's complete. That's Jalen Howard, and Jalen Howard moves the chains as they are across midfield now.
You don't see that too often. Quarterback has the ball on the left hash, throws the ball all the way across the field. Look at this. He's on the left hash line.
Pass from Harold Blood, getting established early along with the run as they hand it back off to Kendrick Rhymes, and quickly brought down the backfield by Isaac Peppers.
Give me a little salt and peppers. A little salt with some peppers on it there. Transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff, number 13, middle of your screen. This is how you play the inside linebacker position. A-gap opens up, blow it up. You know somebody's coming there.
A position that was held down by Aubrey Miller, Junior Defensive Player of the Year last season in the SWAC Peppers, has come in and been disruptive. 9 tackles last weekend. 2nd and 12. Blood trailing back, another long throw across the field, and as Whitfield was going out of bounds, he was also knocked out of bounds. That was Colby Washington.
And a good job by Jackson State's defensive line. Although it's going to show up just as an incompletion, they went empty backfield. Jackson State only brought 4 rushers against the 5, and they were still able to get to the quarterback. Let you know they're winning that battle in the trenches early on in this contest.
We talked with defensive coordinator Jonathan Bradley earlier in the season. He said, hey, the strength of our defense starts up front with that defensive line. Antonio Doyle, Jeremiah Williams, Devontae Davis, and Athen Smith here on 3rd down. Blood looking down the field, has a man, and the speed and layout by Chandler Whitfield. I keep calling his name, but that's Jalen Howard.
So close to the big play, and this is what Eric Dooley's going to do. He's going to make you defend the whole field, down and distance. Hey, if the post is open over the top, you got to make that throw right there. Nice route, clean release. He has him in the trail position. Safety looking in the backfield, just not able to connect.
Bo plans on for his 2nd punt of the game. 6:18 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Seven McGee sees it trail into the end zone. Touchback. And still scoreless here from Baton Rouge. It's Jackson State and Southern come back with us. And McDonald's and Jay Walker, so much conversation about T.C. Taylor, one of the new head coaches in HBCU football, but this is a guy who says, I'm home. I'm at home at Jackson State, a Mississippi native.
And came out with quite a splash winning that MEAC SWAC Challenge when they beat South Carolina State. You know, I think what people have to realize this, although they had a bad game last week, because there'll be a penalty on this play, is they played terrible in the first half against Florida A&M. But the mark to me for a real coach is the adjustments you make at halftime. And they came out and basically played Florida A&M to a draw.
On the play. It's also the play 2nd down. You do not have a foul for holding. 2nd down.
So basically played them to a draw, or you could say they won the 2nd half. So that lets you know.
At South Carolina.
Timeout. Jackson State. First charge timeout of the half.
So the Tigers spend their first timeout of the half, and we will step aside with them with 5:24 remaining in the 1st quarter. Jason Brown looking down the field.
The catch.
Well, they're going to take another look at it is what they're going to do.
He's squeezing this ball into a tight window. He held on. It looked like the ball was coming out, but
Evidence to overturn the call.
You know, I will say this, though. It's not a clear cut like, oh, he definitely caught it or he definitely didn't catch it. It's you can make the argument it looked like he grabbed a hand on it, and it comes down to what you said. Did that ball touch the turf or not? Ball can touch the turf, but do you have control of the ball?
And again, it's hard as we get another angle here.
He's got that arm underneath.
So, Jay, I have to say this because it's a conversation that we had coming in. Last week there was a fumble that was ruled on the field at Florida A&M.
Play stands.
First down.
Okay.
Not enough there. You go with the play, the call on the field.
Yep, because that's what we saw. I was going to say last weekend, Jackson State was driving, had a chance to come in within 2 scores of the game. Irv Mulligan fumbles it in the red zone. It was ruled a fumble, and so there wasn't enough video evidence to overturn it. So the catch complete, an 18-yard gain. And Irv Mulligan with a couple of yards on the carry.
You see, offensively on the line of scrimmage, T.C. Taylor wants that offensive line to control the line of scrimmage. Mulligan's a really good runner.
Mulligan gets the carry again, but Taj Brown is there to quickly disrupt things. A loss of 2.
Do they not know that Taj Brown is the most disruptive player on this Jaguar defense? Stand-up guy, great swim move inside as he absolutely destroyed the left tackle there. Cameron James with a fantastic swim move. And the thing about Brown, what's unique, he started out as a defensive tackle. Now they're using him as a defensive end. Still explosive.
Feeling some pressure, steps up.
64 there, that's Deontay Graham, the right tackle. See, I thought the hole was right there. Yeah, I thought the hole was right there, number 68. You'll see that right there is a swim move. You can do that, but right here you're going to see number 68 as the quarterback's escaping. He's holding on to his jersey. That's when the flag came down, I believe, and that's where you have to find a better place to go with the football. If you saw 2 Southern defensive backs back there, that means somebody has one-on-one on the field, not where you were planning on going, trying to force the ball to Powers.
Noel came over from Delaware State. Ready to put it away.
Okay.
And August P. Boy, Eric Dooley, so happy to have him back into the mix coming off an ACL injury. He's been nagged with injuries throughout his career, but that 64-yard touchdown reception ignites the Jaguars.
I mean, check out this place right now. Mumford has got it going on. Packed, standing room only here. The crowd is out. The human jukebox has it going on. Great tailgate we talked about. The football team is ahead. Oh, college football's back in a major way here in Baton Rouge.
20,000 plus here in the stadiums to see this.
You got it there on the inside out, so a little bit of a sluggo, but as a wide receiver, you're just trying to get a clean release because they know they're going with the deep pass. Good patience. The offensive line did a great job holding up, giving Blood enough time to complete the throw.
You know, Jay, we were driving up to the stadium, and all roads that led to AW Mumford Stadium, oh man, packed. Okay, we had to ask for a police escort to try to navigate through just because it was so chunky up in here.
Yeah, we'd have been late for work. we get here pretty early for the game. We might have got in the kickoff, but the fans, they've been waiting for this, and so good to see. You know, I call these 2 programs 2 of the blue bloods of HBCU football, legendary programs. And every time they play on the football field, it's always an entertainment value.
It's terrific when you think about the coaches and the players that have come through these respective universities, for Pro Football Hall of Famers, for Jackson State, and so many other fantastic players who have suited up for the Tigers. 3 Pro Football Hall of Famers on the other side for Southern. We'll tell you more about just this rich history, legacy, and tradition for these 2 programs throughout the broadcast. But right now, Jackson State back onto the field. And we'll see how Jason Brown and his offensive unit responds. He says, I'm trying to get a big play on the other side, and that's Rico Powers, and it's incomplete. They were going to try to answer right away with an explosive play.
Yeah, but they're not helping themselves on first down. This is a throw here, you know, it's going to look long, but it's an incomplete pass. And you're putting yourself at second and long on the incompletion there. They're trying to do the double move. You know, low percentage pass when you go downfield like that. I think in this type of game, you have to get ahead on first down. Mulligan has been a great football player for you. Let him run the football for you on first down to get ahead of the chain.
Well, Jason Brown decides to run it himself, and he meets Horatio Johnson, the strong safety for the Jaguars. Positive gain. Now brings up 3rd and manageable.
But I want that on first down. So now you got 3rd and 5, so you got pressure. You're going to get the crowd into it. Southern's going to, defensive coordinator Henry Miller's going to dial up some type of blitz or stunt on the defensive line to confuse you. And 3rd down efficiency is the key.
Quincy Riley in motion. The snap. Jason Brown looking, and goes underneath. The check down to Irv Mulligan. And Mulligan, we know what he can do. Good hands out of the backfield, and that'll move the chains.
Good job of patience by Jason Brown. Southern decided to play soft 2-man coverage, cover 2 zone. Nobody saw the running back sneaking out of the backfield.
They decide to give it to Mulligan again, and a good carry, pick up a gain of 8 on first down.
That's your guy. Give him the ball on first down. He's established. He's not going to get you negative yards. You use him to open up the passing game. Same formation. They're probably going to run the same play again.
They hand it off once more to the Wofford transfer, and he does his job and keeps this drive alive. Latrell Johnson in on the stop. And you said it, Jay. Irv Mulligan so far has been your MVP for these JSU Tigers.
Yeah, unexpected surprise coming from Wofford, where he transferred. They're a triple option type team, and he's really given them some stability in the running game.
They call Jason Brown's number instead, 4 and wide. And first-year coordinator Maurice Harris electing to call upon Jason Brown to get it done.
Yeah, this is a good job by Brown, realizing, hey, that defensive end, Kelby Givens, is biting hard, trying to stop Mulligan, because Mulligan has had success running the football, so he pulled it out, called his own number. Efficient, effective football play.
Gain of 15 for Jason Brown, and he's content to take that into the end of the first quarter here. As a 7-0 advantage for the home team, Southern University, and it's because of this play right here. Harold Blood finds the speedy August Pete, healthy and all. You're not going to catch him.
Doritos established. He's not going to get you negative yards. You use him to open up the passing game. Same formation. They're probably going to run the same play again.
They hand it off once more to the Wofford transfer, and he does his job and keeps this drive alive. Latrell Johnson in on the stop. And you said it, Jay. Irv Mulligan so far has been your MVP for these JSU Tigers.
Yeah, unexpected surprise coming from Wofford, where he transferred. They're a triple option type team, and he's really given them some stability in the running game.
They call Jason Brown's number instead, 4 and wide. And first-year coordinator Maurice Harris electing to call upon Jason Brown to get it done.
Yeah, this is a good job by Brown, realizing, hey, that defensive end, Kelby Givens is biting hard, trying to stop Mulligan because Mulligan has had success running the football. So he pulled it out, called his own number. Efficient, effective football play.
Gain of 15 for Jason Brown, and he's content to take that into the end of the first quarter here. As a 7-0 advantage for the home team, Southern University, and it's because of this play right here. Harold Blood finds the speedy August Pete, healthy and all. You're not gonna catch him.
Here's what you really like is the bounce there. You know, I always see Jackson State. I think about Walter Payton. That was a Walter Payton-like run right there, finishing off, making the defense pay.
10th play of the drive here, and Desmond Moultrie finds the end zone.
Sweetness.
You got the right one back.
And when you're serving up taste they love at low
SWAC the last couple of seasons, but came into the year as the second in the SWAC East in the preseason polls. Jay, your HBCU power rankings, where do they fall?
Let's take a look. Number 5, probably one of the most impressive victories in a while. I'm going with the Bears of Morgan State. Head coach Damon Wilson has the Bears playing their best football. At number 4, we're taking a look at them right now, showing they've got some heart getting back in this game. It's Jackson State Tigers. At 3, Alabama State. They knocked off Southern a week ago, so they're number 3, Eddie Rob's boys. And Florida A&M, a lot of people thought they may be number 1. Very impressive, but to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And the number 1 team in HBCU football is still, to me, North Carolina Central. On the bubble, Howard University trending in the right direction, and Southern University can play themselves into the top 5 if they can pull out a victory here at home. Tip, your thoughts?
Jay, I thought you did a great job because North Carolina Central, the Cricket Celebration Bowl champions and HBCU national champions, impressive win against Winston-Salem State. Florida A&M did their thing against Jackson State, and now Southern's trying to do something on this opening, or this kickoff rather. But this is a group who, again, champions out of the SWAC West, Jackson State representing the SWAC East. And even though these are conference foes, this does not count as a conference game, Jay.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting, quirky type dynamics within the SWAC. So you can play teams in your conference and not take a loss. So last week's game, Southern versus Alabama State, did not count for a loss for Southern University. So both teams are, well, Southern is undefeated in conference. Even if they lose today, they'd still be undefeated in conference play, but they haven't played a conference game. And JSU's loss is a conference loss because it was to their East Division rival, Florida A&M.
Thanks for making that distinction at home for the viewers, because many see these two and initially or automatically think this is a conference game. On 1st and 10 from the 25, Harold Blood, and it's into Cassius Allen. Cassius Allen, a nice target for him, 6'4", 200 pounds. Cassius Allen, Eric Dooley says he could be a big playmaker for us.
He's got the size there, and this is Dooley spreading out the offense. You put him in the slot, free release, get him the football, pick up the first downs, and now they're doing a little tempo as they're lining up to try and snap the ball in a hurry.
Not much room to run as a tackle made by Joshua Clark. And an injured player down on the field. That's Bernard Charles, who's slow to get up, the starting center, 5th-year veteran for Southern.
Yeah, most experienced guy they have in that offensive line, and you'll see he'll kind of get rolled up on the back of the run right there. As defensive tackle was trying to make the tackle, Quarles comes up behind him, and let's hope that's nothing serious that he may be able to return in this game.
You know, Southern came back this season with 4 of the 5 returners from last year on that offensive line, and Bernard Childs out of Houston, Texas, being helped off by his teammate as well.
So you got a new center in the game for Southern. It should be Juan Gonzalez. And anytime you get into this action here, you got to watch the location of the snap, even though it's shotgun.
Empty backfield once more. Low snap, Blood handles it, but that gives Jackson State plenty of time to get there. Isaac Peppers along with True Thompson in on the stop. True Thompson, you see he's happy about it, coming over from Florida State a couple of years ago, and let's take another look at it.
Yeah, they're going to bring some pressure for him. Take a look at the snap location. Down on the ground with blitzing linebackers makes it a very difficult situation, putting unnecessary pressure on your quarterback. If you come in, you got to be ready. You got to get that snap. I've seen it so often that they start thinking about other things and they forget the location, and snap is the key. JSU brought the pressure. Big play for the defense.
They pushed it back 6 yards now on 3rd and long. Some more pressure. Feeling it. Blood escapes, gets the throw off. Completion to Darren Morris, but short of the first down marker. It was Philip Webb who was applying that pressure to Harold Blood, and the offense staying on, and now the switch is made as the punting unit coming on. The 7-7 ball game.
We know that Dooley's an aggressive play caller. He wants to go for it, but 4th and 4 is the right thing to do. Try to win the battle of field position and see if you can pin the Jackson State offense inside their own 20-yard line.
And fair caught for Jackson State on their own 10-yard line. That's where they will start the drive when we come back here to Baton Rouge. Just about 2.5 hours separate these two schools. Jackson State coming out of the capital city of Mississippi. More than 7,000 students attending this HBCU, founded in 1877. And among the things that I love about Jackson State, the only HBCU with a meteorology program, Jay. So one of my meteorologists back home, he went to Jackson State. Some of the notable alumni you saw flashed up there on your screen. We'll get back to it in just a moment as the Tigers offense back on the field.
Look at you, doing the homework, making the FAMU J School proud. I like that. That's what we get behind the scenes. That's a really nice list of notable people that attended Jackson State as well. And we know about the football program, but they also for years had a great golf program there. One of the best HBCU golf programs for a long time. The basketball team was rolling. Women's basketball.
Oh yeah, Tamika Reed. Yeah,
Reed,
they need to keep her in Jackson as long as possible. Nearly upset Ken Bulky and these LSU Tigers not too long ago, as Irv Mulligan feels the pressure of Jordan Carter after hard-earned 2 yards on the carry. But you think about Rod Page, the former U.S. Secretary of Education. I'm a big Jazz fan, so Cassandra Wilson was on that list. Earl Cam Boyd, former Major League Baseball pitcher, and Archie Cooley.
The gunslinger Cooley.
That's right, the gunslinger, former Mississippi Valley State head coach. Graduated from Jackson State. The pass complete to Duke Miller, and Miller, who's sandwich tackled by a couple, but picks up the first down.
Duke Miller's a guy I think can emerge and have a big part of this offense, a big role. They lost a lot of wide receivers, but he's a guy that transferred in from New Mexico, and they really talked about him a lot in the preseason. Yet for him to have that breakout game.
There's Fabian McCray. You talk about the number of transfers, 60 plus, as there was a big turnover after many players left after Coach Prime ended his era. And Jackson, with Mulligan fighting ahead, runs into a pal. Kelby Givens among them to stop him.
Going back to that Jackson State you were talking about, the alumni group there, and something just came to my mind there. You see the good defense stopping the run, but Gunslinger Cooley, coach of Mississippi Valley State. Who was his quarterback?
Willie Totten. Oh, you know I was going to go there now. and Willie Totten is standing on the sideline for Southern University as their quarterbacks coach in his first season with the program. Last was at Valley as the QB coach.
And what a job if you're Harold Blood, the quarterback for Southern, to have Willie Totten, one of the best quarterbacks in HBCU football, college football, period, history, to be your quarterback coach. That's a good spot there, but I did not know that Gunslinger Cooley went to Jackson State. I just would have assumed he went to Mississippi Valley. But
Jason Brown with time gets rid of it. And oh, what a move by Rico Powers. And Rico Powers just needs a block, a little bit of space. He's got one man to beat. Can he get in?
Give it to him. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
House.
63 yards on the score. And the former Tiger QB and wide receiver knows about how special that connection is, but how about the moves that Powers put on as the extra point is no good. But Rico Powers Jr., we said he was a difference maker already in the early part of this season for Jackson State, but buying time from Jason Brown, great job by him as well.
Yeah, a long time to have to cover a wide receiver, and you see once Powers caught that ball, he was thinking make a move after the catch. He did a good job of separating, but really like that downfield effort by Spencer to get him that block to, instead of it just being a big play, making it a touchdown play. TC Taylor's feeling good right now. His team has the lead, and you know what they're thinking on the southern sideline? I'm telling you what head coach Eric Dooley is thinking right now. Should have gone for it on 4th down. He thought about it on 4th and 3,
yep.
Elected to punt and did the job, but the defense gives up an explosive play for a touchdown.
We've seen the dominance from Jackson State over the last couple of seasons within the Southwestern Athletic Conference. A tale of two teams, as we mentioned. And right now, Jackson State looking much like they did to open the season as this game wears on. Jordan Dupree on the return, trying to find some room and tripped up and brought down around the 23. When you think about this Southern team, coming off a 7-5 record a season ago.
The football to be played.
First down, staying on his feet, but nowhere to go. Backs up, that's Gary Quarles.
Hey, Tiff, I got something for you. I know how you feel about this. You know, the Royal Court, you know, I know it means a lot to you because you were the orange and green.
Know you're in good hands with Allstate.
Southern that got on the board first via an August Pete touchdown, but then Desmond Moultrie and Rico Powers, a couple of touchdown receptions to make it 13-7 in favor of Jackson State. Back on 2nd and 13. Boom! Woo-wee! What a hit late. And we're trying to find him on our depth charts right now, and can't see, but I think that was John Huggins laying him down.
Empty backfield. The line did the job of the protection. You got to deliver that ball a little bit quicker. On crossing routes, we've seen a couple Southern receivers get hit pretty good. As a quarterback, you take responsibility for that. You have to throw ahead of them. You have to see ahead of them.
3rd and 6 quickly out, the pass complete. And that's going to be close to the first down marker, and they're going to say it's good enough. Athens Smith was among those bringing the pressure and then brought down. It was Alan Walker to trip him up, so 2nd and 8. And so far, how would you assess the way Harold Blood has played today in his 2nd career start?
I think he's doing a good job. He's managed the game, has not turned the football over, protected that. They had turnovers a week ago, so you can tell he's worked on that.
Tried to zip it in there, and drops out of the hands of Washington, just a little bit behind him.
And I think what he's going to discover as this game goes on, as a quarterback at a certain point, you know when I'm going to be responsible for the running attack. Like the coach is going to stop calling run plays. He'll call passes, but giving you the option, hey, pick up 3 or 4 yards at a time. We don't care. So I think his legs will come into play because he's going to have to be a running quarterback to run the ball in this game.
This is a guy who's stayed the course, been in the program behind guys like Bashawn McCray last year, Ladarius Skelton. Now he gets his chance this season. The pressure coming, emptying the kitchen sink, but the pass complete. The move's made, and again, utilizing Kendrick Rhymes out of the backfield. He has great hands, and you saw there how it helped 13 yards later.
You asked me how Harold Blood is doing. This is playing quarterback right here. Watch him deliver the ball, knowing he's going to get hit. You've got three guys that are going to surround the quarterback, but he stood strong in the pocket, delivered the pass, held it so his running back can come from the backfield. That's how you play the quarterback position.
It's something it's a position where he's been groomed for. Now Willie Totten, his quarterback's coach, on 1st and 10. Harold Blood trying to make great decisions like Satellite did, and wisely throws it away. Nobody open, and brings up 2nd down.
And that's the part I start to say he's got to figure it out. I'm your offensive coordinator. I'm Eric Dooley, the head coach who calls plays. If I call a pass play on 1st down, I just want positive yardage. I just don't want an incomplete pass. I don't want 2nd and 10. Run the ball, make it 2nd and 7. Dump it off. Give me 4 or 5 yards. But one thing offensive coordinators hate is incompletions on 1st down.
Dooley, a great offensive mind. Sharply thrown, pass complete, good to Jalen Howard, brought down by Jaheim Hazel. So now there'll be 3rd and about 4 for this Southern offense.
2-down territory.
Okay.
I know what they're thinking right now. If they don't get this 1st down, they're going to go for it. They've crossed midfield. So you try and pick up as much as you can on 3rd down. If you just get positive yardage, don't get sacked, then I'm sure that Eric Dooley would go for it in a 4th down situation. Jackson State, man-to-man coverage across the board. This is what they do. When they get in trouble, they out-athlete you. Man-to-man coverage all over. Got to find somebody that can beat man coverage.
Standing in, again delivering, and look at, yep, indeed. As there was a tug by Isaiah Guthrie to the jersey of Colby Washington.
You know what? This is like an old Canadian Football League play. Like, you know, you're going to see Washington come across the formation and get a running start.
15-yard
do against man coverage.
Automatic.
He's got a running start going up that seam and got Guthrie in the position. Nicely thrown ball as well. But that's what we talk about, the offensive creativity by play selection. Okay, they want to play man-to-man. People want to do bump and run coverage. Well, if a guy's going in motion, you can't jam him. So he actually just got a running start right up the seam. They almost came away with a huge play.
That speaks to what we talked about, the creativity with Eric Dooley as a long-time play caller at a number of schools within the SWAC. His offense has put up numbers, 2nd in the conference last year behind Jackson State, averaging 31 a game. And now here on 1st and 10, fresh set of downs and too tall. As a flag comes out and Harold Blood goes roll over after that throw.
We'll call roughing the passer here.
Yep.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 23. That foul is also targeting. The previous play is under further review.
I mean, the ball is gone. I mean, this is a cheap shot. Oh, yeah. All right. Yep. Hang up your pads. And this is when they're going to call that. That's an easy call on Javarian Jenkins. It was late for one, and the crown of the helmet dipped down. That will be an ejection. I'm fairly sure the personal foul. This is the crown of the helmet, right, Tiff?
Yep. Indeed, the crown of the helmet to his helmet. And I think it's one of those, you're going to watch this in review, and if you want a clear-cut example of what targeting is, the officials can call upon that tape right there.
And that's a really good job by Preston Clipper. You know, when you're the referee, you're responsible for protecting the quarterback. And as soon as he saw it, the flag came out right away, and the video replay has shown that he made the correct call on the spot.
Still having a conversation with the replay booth up top, but pretty clear cut when you look at the definitive rules of lowering the shoulder, leading with the head, the crown of it, and making contact above the neck. And that is something that is unwanted in college football, has no place when you think about player safety. Let's hear from Preston Cooper.
After further review, targeting number 23 is confirmed. Number 23 is disqualified for the remainder of the game. First down, Southern.
That's a launch. I mean, that's textbook targeting. There's easy call to make and no longer allowed in today's college football.
So now your Sam linebacker, starter Javarian Jenkins is out. And the backup Khalil Arrington will come in and play the rest of the game. So a couple of penalties by Jackson State aiding Southern on their drive as they try to answer. Harold Blood, who is stood tall, tough. Oh, it's intercepted in the end zone. That's Kendrick Wiggins. And Wiggins decides to stay in. They're going to say that's B.J. Washington. We got a number change here, so B.J. Washington with the interception.
And you got to run the football here. I mean, watch this thing part like the Red Sea. Right there, you take off running. And if you run, you've got it, but he did not locate Washington in the end zone. And all Washington's doing is watching his eyes. You see Washington on your screen? He's buzzing, watching his eyes, getting to the spot. Great play by Washington for the interception. Look at that. They had you on the ropes, Coach Taylor, but your defense stepped up and bailed you out.
Coming up in a big way, and so now keeps Southern off the board. And Jackson State with their first play of the drive after the turnover, and some movement looked to be up front.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So now the mindset for Jackson State becomes, we don't want to give the ball right back to Southern right now. Pick up a couple first downs, and then if they get you around midfield, then they're step on the gas pedal. But it's all about taking the lead into halftime, using the clock down a little bit, allowing your defense to stay on the sideline.
Brown dumps it down to Mulligan, and Mulligan just sees it go in and out of his hands. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. On 3rd and 3. Brown looking to the left side, and the pass is incomplete, so it does bring up a 4th down. The punting unit will come on, and just over 3 minutes to go in the half. Jackson State will hand the ball back over to Southern.
Yeah, and I got to ask, you kind of wonder, you talked to the offensive coordinator, Maurice Harris. You had 1st and 5. 1st and 5. And you get 2 yards because you've been dropping back throwing the ball instead of using Mulligan, who's been a problem running it on that 3rd down there. Jason Brown just threw the ball a little too soon. The receiver came open, but he got a little case of happy feet in the pocket.
Able to get it off. It bounces out at the 31-yard line of Southern. I'll tell you this, we talked about the atmosphere here, Jay, and all who packed in. Obviously, there's a big show at halftime. The sonic boom of the South, ready to wow the fans here as they're ready to listen in to both bands. Southern Human Jukebox on the other side.
I'm going to say 2 top 5 band names. I like the name the Sonic Boom of the South, and I think
two
the
top
human
5 bands.
jukebox. Yes.
Period. just bands. Like if you listen to them, you will be blown away. Going backwards, overthrown. And the pressure coming up front from Jackson State, second down.
There they are. I always think of, shout out to my man, R.I.P. Dr. Isaac Greggs, legendary band director of the Human Jukebox.
They had a Dancing Dolls, Why Not Us, on ESPN Plus last year. So the band and the Dolls getting some burn. Joshua Clark among those, and on the stop of Harold Blood, now third down, and the clock still ticking down.
And this defensive line is starting to wear down. The offensive line of Southern University, Coach Taylor has to be proud of the guys up front, the effort that they're giving. They've given up some big plays in the secondary, but down in the trenches, I think so far it's been advantage JSU.
Blood has a man, and the pass complete to Colby Washington. Washington looking for blocking, still on his feet, out near the 45-yard line. So Colby Washington coming across, another guy who's very familiar with Eric Dooley's system, played with him at Prairie View A&M, and then came over when Coach Dooley took the job a couple of years ago.
Jackson State elected to go with a 3-man rush. That gave Blood comfort and time in the pocket to find Washington on the crossing route.
Kendrick Grimes stuffed immediately. Jeremiah Williams, the big D tackle up front. Always got a nose for the football.
And you see Williams and along with Devontae Davis, 97, those interior defensive linemen really mix it up, and they've been going to Phillip Webb as a rush in, but that's a good look there. Williams, active, follows the football, hard worker, just a sophomore.
Blood, again, another good pass. Gunslinger is one way that Eric Dooley described his quarterback, as it's a 9-yard completion, 8-yard rather completion to Jalen Howard.
Up to the 37-yard line.
Under a minute to go.
We've seen Blood do this a couple times. Buy time, step up, and throw the out route to the sideline. When he steps up out of the pocket, he knows to look at that sideline immediately.
Some patience there, and then Kendrick Grimes.
First down run.
Timeout taken by Southern. So they're spinning the first of 3 timeouts here. No, rather, that's their second timeout of the half. Isn't that correct? Because we did it on the punt.
On the punt. Good job of, making sure you got the play selection, that you're on the right page. Right now the chess match is going. So you can go back to when Jackson State got the interception. The key was, hey, take that lead into the locker room. Don't give Southern the ball back. Well, they came out with a 3 and out. They had just run the ball a little bit more, picked up 1 first down, then we'd be in the locker room. Right now, Eric Dooley and the Jaguars trying to make them pay.
A fresh set of downs for Southern. The ball at the 35-yard line of JSU. This crowd behind them here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. After one of the great coaches of the program. Blood looking, trailing back, got to get out of trouble, throws it away, and nobody in the vicinity, as Blood is slow to get up on the sideline. He took a big hit there as he was chased down by a couple of Tiger defenders, and he's feeling that one.
And here's the quarterback, you got to know something. You know the play call, right? All these routes, you're going to see the receivers all going to the left. You can't scramble right. You got nobody to throw the ball to. So that's when you have to use your spin move to kind of leave out the back door He had nowhere to go when he escaped, and you have to know as a quarterback. Take a look at this look here. Everybody's going to the left, right? You can't go right. If you have to force yourself to spin to get to the left, that's where you have to go.
Low snap. Remember, backup center, Harold Blood. And there were a couple of Jaguar defenders, but more Tiger, rather receivers, and more Tiger defenders in the area.
Now, you took your deep shot. You've got 2 downs right now to try and pick up 10 yards. Know that. Right now, out of field goal range. So what you can't do is have incompletions right now. Don't be afraid to look for a running lane if you can pick up some good yards on a scramble.
Rhymes in the backfield, a sophomore out of Houston. Blood just heaving it up, and the pass incomplete to Jalen Howard. Now that'll bring up 4th down and 10. So this is not necessarily the way you drum up an end of half situation when you get the ball back and a chance to take the lead here if you're Southern. What do you draw up here on 4th down and 10?
Well, I would look for it, tell everybody to run at least 10-yard routes, but it seems like there's going to be a change here. And are they going to attempt a long field goal?
Now that's something that's interesting, given the fact that Eric Dooley is used to taking chances. The 52-yarder won't be kicked just yet.
Jackson State.
As a timeout is taken.
Timeout.
So right there, he's saying safe. So that look right there, crossing his arms, that means field goal safe. It means don't go for the block. That means just go safe. Don't try and do it. Don't get a penalty. And then they wanted to talk about it and get it all set. And, you know, kind of, are we going for the block or are we going for field goal safe? When we talked to Coach Dooley, he said, what's the max with your kicker? He said 50. He said right at 50, but I guess in this situation here, 24 seconds left before the half, he's about 2 yards out his comfort zone, but it's only 2 yards, so he can make this kick.
Joshua Griffin. Right hash. The kick is up. It's got the leg, but it is no good. So Jackson State breathes a sigh of relief. They don't give up any points to Southern here with 18 seconds remaining and a 13-7 lead on the road. Remember, Jackson State will get the ball to start the second half. They'll take a knee going into the locker room. And Jackson State, after one half of play, a 10-play, 73-yard drive and a 15-yard score from Desmond Moultrie helped to put them on top, but it was Rico Powers who got him going first with this big, explosive 63-yard touchdown catch and run. And that puts the two-time defending SWAC champs on top after a half of football here from Baton Rouge. Always a big rivalry game between these two in front of a packed house here at AW Mumford Stadium. As the sonic boom of the South sets to take the field. Head coach of JSU, TC Taylor, joining us now. And Coach, just walk us through those last couple of possessions for you all and how important it is for you to take the lead into the half.
Very important. You know, we deferred on that. Thank you.
JSU going into the locker room with a 13-7 lead, but this is how it all started. The August Pete touchdown, the explosive plays, but then the defense from Jackson State coming through, capitalizing. Desmond Moultrie saying, oh yeah, give me some, bringing it on more as Jason Brown found Rico Powers. He took it to the house. JSU, the I love. Dooley, the head coach for Southern, and coach, what was your message to your team at the half?
We got to finish. We got to be able to come back out and establish the run. We're not getting the push. When we talk about the run game, I feel we're doing okay with the pass pro, but we just can't throw it all night long. We got to be able to establish some type of continuity as far as running the football and keep the defense off the field, and then we got to score it.
Coach, let's talk about your quarterback, Harold Blood, making his home debut as a starting quarterback for Southern University. How would you assess his play, and what did you say to him at halftime?
Right now, we got to make sure that we just manage the game the right way. We got some reads that's open that we got to make sure we work on those things throughout practice. Those are the easy reads for us, so we got to make sure. And then also in the green zone, we got to protect the football. We cannot. We got points already, so we can't give them any opportunity.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
As we welcome you back inside the booth, Jay Walker, Tiffany Green here with you. Now, we heard from Coach Dooley and Coach Taylor going in and out of the locker room, but what were your thoughts of the first half?
I think that Southern needs to match the physical nature of Jackson State. The Jackson State defensive line in particular pushed Southern University backside, so that's really tough right there. You've got a quarterback playing under a lot of duress right there, but I think there'll be more explosive big plays, and it could come down to a special teams play that may determine the outcome of this game.
All right, Jay, so we are here on the campus of Southern University, and I know that this is a time where you like to celebrate and highlight individuals and programs along the way in Jay's Give Me Five.
All right, folks, here you go. How about this? We're at Southern University. 5 legendary football players here at Southern University. Isaiah Butch Robertson. I'm going to make the argument he should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Outstanding linebacker here and in the National Football League. At number 4, one of the best nicknames of all time, Rich Tombstone Jackson. Before he started for the Denver Broncos, he was a Southern legend. Number 3, names you're probably a little bit more familiar with, new school, Anelius Williams, Pro Football Hall of Fame cornerback, played here on the Bluff. And at number 2, you got to get some offense in here, right? How about Harold Carmichael, Pro Football Hall of Famer Harold Carmichael, 6'9" wide receiver Harold Carmichael went to Southern University. And at number 1, how about Mel Blunt? They grew things big down here, right? Because Mel Blunt played cornerback at 6'3". If you got a 6'7" wide receiver, you got to have a 6'3" DB. And on the bubble, shout out to my man Maurice Hurst, my teammate in the New England Patriots there. And how about Ken Ellis, another Southern legend? But I'm going to make the argument now that Tombstone Jackson and Butch Robertson should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, all right. Some great names there, Jay. I think of Rufus Porter and Frank Pitts. But Tiff's 2 cents. Got to give you my 2 cents.
Who you got,
and
Tiff?
Pete Richardson, obviously the legendary coach. And of course, the field name after him here. This classic name after him as well. And then Leonard Tillery.
Leonard Tillery.
Yes,
that is a good one.
All-time leading rusher in the SWAC, surpassing the likes of your Walter Paytons and such within the conference. So, yeah.
Good one there. Good one there. Pete, yes. Pete was the obvious. I just kind of assumed everybody knows Pete Richardson is one. You got me there. Leonard Tillery, you got me. Well, when he played, he was all they really had. I mean, they were good, but he was carrying that team. He could really tote that rock, as we like to say, carry the football.
And we had a chance to talk with Eric Dooley, and what was so interesting was the fact that he was just like, when we mentioned his name, he was like, oh yeah,
oh yeah,
oh yeah.
He knew right away, like, that's a good one there. You know, may not get the props that he deserves, but when you talk about Leonard Tillery, he was special.
Jackson State leading it off here in the second half. The handoff to Irv Mulligan and a pickup of a couple here. In terms of adjustments that we'll see from both sides, you heard T.C. Taylor talk about putting together 4 quarters. Yes, it was nice to take a lead into the locker room, but we've got to make sure we string together another 30 minutes of regulation to get it done. Jason Brown scrambling out of the pocket. in another positive play, now bringing up third in about 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I really do think offensively, when JSU can stay ahead of the chains on first down, they're really good. Because then that way you can kind of hide your hand. You can let your athletes get the football, design plays for them on second and third down to do some damage.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Rico Powers, who caught that 63-yard touchdown catch. Brown kind of threw it behind and popped up in the air, and somehow Duke Miller was able to come up with it off of the carom from Rico Powers, and it's first down. So a fortuitous bounce there for the Tigers.
Yeah, double crossing route here. I mean, let's look at the initial throw here. Trying to squeeze that ball in there before it gets hit behind him. Not there, but a great job by Miller recognizing the ball was in the air and making a play.
Goes to Powers again near the sticks as well. Rodney Johnson Jr. swings him down, and Rico Powers has had himself another good game as well. Caught in a touchdown in last weekend's game. Another touchdown here today for 2 on the season, 2nd and 1. And it's Irv Mulligan. Mulligan can get you those tough yards when you need them, but he can also find a way to shake off tacklers, stay on his feet, and keep hunting for more.
And Mulligan has that bounce that you like. And that's a good look right there of Rodney Johnson. I think he's an interesting story. I think they should match him up against Rico Powers as often as they can, because Johnson is 6'3", got length, and he's got speed. He's a track guy, one of the fastest people in the country in the 400-meter race. So we talk about tremendous upside for a track guy that's playing football, starting a corner, and might give me 5. I talked about Mel Blunt went here. He's a 6'3" corner. Well, a guy like Rodney Johnson with that length has the ability to be an impact cornerback on the next level.
Best HBCU DB.
Defensive back. Okay. That should be competitive every year.
Mm-hmm. One throw, and Isaiah Spencer, first time he's been targeted.
Depends on that spot.
Yep.
Oh, good tackle.
It's going to be up short, just about 1.5 yards short.
And he'd point you in Allstate's direction.
Go all the way down the road past the big gray warehouse.
And McDonald's, let's see who's bringing the flavor today. Brought to you by McDonald's. Uh-oh, I smell. To the left, this is his pregame. Searsucker Jay on the right, though, he sprints out in his usual vest, and wherever he is, you just always want to see what he's got on. Dude is always clean.
But I told him the challenge is, and we'll talk about that for this big 4th down right now. Got him.
Rolling out, good open field tackle, but past the chains, and a first down as Kristen Davis delivering the open field hit, but keep it moving.
Here's what you have to do. You got to get rid of this football. He was lucky to get it. Right now, look, I'm going to tell you when you throw the ball. Right now, that ball should be gone. See, you get him hit. You get him hit because the timing was off. So that's what I'm saying. You got to get it. I mean, that guy's running open for, it's 4th and 2. You want a quick pass and let him get it. Instead, he got hit, and they were fortunate that he held on to the football.
Back-to-back runs by Desmond Moultrie.
Now, if I go back to the challenge I made to Eric Dooley. Okay, we see you clean pregame, but the fans don't. So if you want to go down as a legendary coach like Alvin, Shine, Wyatt, Bethune-Cookman, you've got to coach in that gear. See, Shine would coach in a seersucker. He coach in crushed white linen all the way from head to toe. I think Dooley has that in him.
I'm going to respond to that in just a second. 3rd and 4. Jason Brown 4 for 4 on this drive for 21 yards. He elects to step back, call his own number, and picks up the first down. First time we're calling Jalen Campbell's name after 15 tackles last weekend, first today. And now this JSU team moving downhill. Irv Mulligan in the backfield for the Tigers. Mulligan, stiff arm, sees a hole, and hits hole! Touchdown! Irv Mulligan continues to turn heads this season. Transfer out of Wofford, 20 yards on the run, and pay dirt.
Yeah, and a great seal block by Duke Miller right there. Number 3, the wide receiver, blocking downfield. He seals the guy, gives him a perimeter to get outside. And we know that Irv Mulligan, the offensive MVP for the Tigers this season, if you block him up, he can hurt you with a big run for the touchdown.
And the extra point is good, and so that's the way that TC Taylor wants to see his team coming out of the half, put it in the hands of Irv Mulligan, and Irv, they trust.
Ever notice how
of that touchdown celebration?
That was an impressive drive, put offense, 13 plays, 65 yards.
We're going to say, we're not going to declare a winner between the bands. We're going to say the stadium lights were on halftime. They took halftime. That was very impressive. Great version of I'll Take You There.
Jamming, just like my man Kendrick Grimes trying to jam the defender as he pushes a player out of bounds, and Kendrick Grimes' helmet comes out along with the penalty marker.
About to be a late hit on the sideline, 15-yard variety.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. Number 22, 15-yard penalties will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So, yeah, they're going to call that on. Looked like that was number 9, B.J. Washington with the face mask. Might have given us a wrong number, but good job by the officials. And Southern University gets additional yardage after the first down run.
And now let's see if they can establish the run. One of the things that Eric Dooley told us coming out of the locker room, got to do a better job of establishing the run because they've thrown the ball rather successfully, and Harold Blood has looked strong, but he said we can't do it all game. So Kendrick Grimes, who's kind of the younger, bigger version of Gary Quarles Jr., gets the carry once more up the hole, and then popped by John Huggins. And close to the third down marker, but let's go back. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, right? See, human jukebox on the field, and then it just goes completely black. There you go. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? Cell phone lights come out and everything. And then there it is, light show. Yeah. Come on, you know it's tight.
It was a light show.
It was a light. Sit back and enjoy the light show. Kendrick Grimes, once again, steady dose of him on this drive early on as they're moving deeper into Tiger territory.
And, you know, light show, anytime Southern does something, I start thinking, okay, what's Grambling going to do? Because that's their rival. But Grambling right now, 28-10, losing at LSU here in Baton Rouge. So pretty respectable performance from the G-men of Grambling. How ironic is that the Grambling's in town to play LSU and Southern is hosting Jackson State.
Tulane's in action down the road in New Orleans. Like, lots happening in Baton Rouge, New Orleans. And oh man! Ooh. Wrapped up, brought down again. Double D, Devontae Davis, Jeremiah Williams causing havoc on the inside, loss of 5.
And if you're an offensive lineman, you don't give up on the play. Your quarterback is scrambling, right? You look at all these white jerseys. I mean, that's a wolf pack coming after him. And you let 5 guys get on your quarterback. I know it was a long time to block, but that right there, that's mental. That's mental. Like, I'm going to finish off this block. And it just seems like that defensive line from Jackson State wants a little bit more than the guys up front for the Jaguars.
And what did TC Taylor tell us before the half? The line is getting the push up front. They want it to be physical when he told us earlier this week. And they're doing that.
Game, offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And then play clock expires, pushing this Jaguar defense back 5 yards. And Eric Dooley. As we come back here to A.W. Mumford Stadium, see you back in the Bluff.
Baby, it's over.
I mean, we both saw this coming.
7 advantage for Jackson State, but when you are on the campus of Southern University, you tailgate. Let's let you a little bit more about. Founded in 1880, more than 8,300 students, and one of the top producers of black nurses in the country. An outstanding law school as well. I think about Faith Jenkins, an attorney and legal commentator, got her JD from Southern Law. Avery Johnson, the former NBA coach and player. A great list though, Branford Marcellus and Lou Brock. I think of for sure Ricky Weeks.
You didn't mention Bobby Fields.
Bobby Fields. Oh yeah.
Basketball NBA player. Gone way too soon. Good list.
It's a strong list. Talking to Tony Clayton, who just reminded me, he says, look, he big alumnus and donor and giver to the university, says you'll not find anything quite like this, but the baseball legacy and tradition that they have here is quite impressive.
Obviously, then you talk about the legendary coach Roger Cador was the coach, legend in his own right. He coached some good ones, but Ricky Weeks won the Golden Spikes Award. That's the baseball version of the Heisman Trophy. And they have, by far, I'm going to say it, they're the best tailgating school in HBCU football, period.
On 3rd and 8, the pass is complete to Jinsey Riley, the tight end, who picks up the first down. Okay, Jay. And it was seconded earlier by the SWAC commissioner, Charles McClellan. He said yes to. Jinsey Riley and his family, I'm sure they agree, out of Greensburg, Louisiana.
And so, I almost feel like, I remember when Mark Jackson was coaching the Warriors, and he said, I got the best shooting quarterback. And I don't want that. I don't come to Southern for chicken. I don't come here for ribs. They're really good. We have some good. This is what I want. I want red beans and rice. I want steam. I want jambalaya. I want gumbo. That's what I want. They dance. The food is phenomenal. And you don't see a lot of smoke because everybody's stirring everything. The pots are stirring. They're boiling.
Quick spell as a flag comes out is Desmond Moultrie.
Offense, number 74. Penalty, still first down.
So let's take a look. We talk about doing a lot of things right, and Irv Mulligan knows he's going to catch this ball short. Getting out of the backfield. He's trying to protect first. Okay, he's behind the line of scrimmage. He knows I got to make a play. And look at this. Make a juke, get a cut, downhill, pick it up. He knew how many yards he had to get and achieve the job.
Now 1st and 20. Swing pass out to Desmond Moultrie. And gain of a few as Jason Brown pops back up. So we've seen Jason Brown for now 3 weeks. And what are your takeaways for him?
I still don't know how comfortable he is in the offense, and he's growing before us. I want to see him utilize the deep ball a little bit more. I don't know how the accuracy has been there when he tries to go deep. Very good intermediate passer. But when you've got as much speed, and every week when you play Jackson State, you're the quarterback, you know your wide receivers are going to be faster than the other team's secondary. I'm going to find a way to let it go. I'm going to hurt you with some deep throws.
Pass complete to Kobe Paul for 15 yards. So now that brings up 3rd and 5. So good gain there on 2nd down. And the Tigers have been 4 of 5 on 3rd down in this half. Can they convert again? Brown sensing pressure, and he's eaten up and brought down by big number 93, Willie Miles.
Big Willie. Big Willie. 5'9", 350, but he gets it going. Look at 9-3. This is a blitz, pretty decent blitz pickup. And sometimes as a quarterback, you can run into a headache. This is where I want to see Brown. Just stand tall in the pocket. Stand there. But he's got the happy feet. He could have stood tall. Instead, he walked himself into a Willie Miles sandwich. Big fella gobbled him up. That's a big boy right there.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you said the 5'9", I mean, just like, and run from August Pete. That's it.
Yeah, let's go back and revisit these power rankings here. As we talked about it, we can go ahead and show all of them. Morgan State, impressive right now, winning at Akron, so they're not dropping. They stepped up and played a D1. Alabama State took a loss, so they're going to be leaving. They lost to Miles. Southern trying to play themselves into it. Jackson State trying to move up. So the number 3 spot's available. It's open there for you to get it. Who wants to take it? Howard, big win versus Morehouse today as well.
Blood brought down from behind. That's Philip Webb. Webb, who has been a noisemaker here tonight.
They're rushing 4 people, and he's got to leave the pocket. The defensive line for Jackson State is handing it to Southern.
And that ends the third quarter. Lights out again, but remember, the light show, the human jukebox in the stands, ready to play. Let's see if they can drum up something special for their team here. Let's listen in as we go to break.
Boudin and all that stuff there, but
we went to Pyran's yesterday, and
awesome food.
They had some onion rings, so you didn't mind those being fried. You said they were the best thing. But delivers the throw as he takes the hit and catch short of the marker. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Good job by Allen playing big, not allowing the would-be defender to make a little slip tackle on him. You're a big guy, 6'4", you know they want to go low. Anticipate. Showed some agility. Nice spin move. Is that X button?
Yeah. no.
It's a triangle.
It's a spin. Circle, right? It's been a minute. And Jalen Hughes was on the coverage, tried to make a play on it. Darren Morris was the intended receiver.
And this is one word, you know. Everybody wants to ooh and ah, but I'm going back to, I'm going to be a little buzzkill. It's just a long incompletion on 1st down. When you're throwing that ball there, the defensive back is there. Maybe underthrow it, make it a 50-50 jump ball, but you just got to start realizing how crucial 1st down play selection is.
Blood pump faking a couple of times. They should have let go of the football instead. He is sacked by Tyus Martin.
And that's not on the offensive line. That's a good stern pocket. I mean, as a quarterback, you want 3 seconds to throw the ball. 1, 2, 3. He had time to stay there. Where you're running to there. So I've been giving the offensive line a hard time about not giving Blood enough of a pocket. Well, that time they did their job. Just poor execution.
On 3rd and 14. Has a man. Cassius Allen got behind his defender into Tiger territory as he moved around John Huggins. And that's a big play that Southern needed.
Yeah, this is a little wheel route, so a little out and up. And Huggins fell for the out route. Good job of getting behind him by the big fella, Cassius Allen. So he started out in the slot, set him up to run out route, then took it vertical.
Kendrick Grimes trying to put a move on. Again, a good receiving back in this offense.
I like that. 1st down completion. See, now you're dealing 2nd and 5. You've got the defense on the heels.
So we've seen Earl Blood move this offense down the field, trying to avoid pressure, gets it out of his hands, and good open field tackle, ball comes loose out of the hands of Rhymes and into the Tigers' hands. But was he down on the field?
Yeah, I think he was down. Initially, without even seeing the replay, the ground can't cause that type of fumble. He goes airborne with the football, and as he lands, the ball goes to the ground, right there. Ground can't cause that type of fumble.
Ruling on the field is a fumble.
Yeah, elbows down. That's
by Jackson
down.
State. First down.
It'll be key. Let's see where that elbow is. I want to see where that elbow, because he was very close to getting a first down.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, as they take another look at it up in the booth, Preston Clipper and this replay official crew has been busy here tonight. We will let them deliberate a little bit, take some time, and come back with us to get the call.
I'm your football-obsessed best man, and I think you having your big day during the big game is the worst. What, are you kidding me?
Physically, I'm right here, but mentally, I'm here. Yeah, I do. Come on, speed it up.
When all eyes are on you,
My eyes are glued to the game. Whoa! Touchdown, yeah! And if you didn't bundle your home and auto insurance, well, all of this could be tough to tackle. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less? When you can save on Good and Gather groceries and all the fall flavor.
A fumble, as you see here, pretty good look by our camera crew. Ball in hand. Ground cannot cause a fumble. In that case there, they overturned it, and Southern University keeps possession of the ball, but a key third down coming up right now.
2 yards to gain. They hand it off to Rhymes, who breaks loose and into the end zone. Just the spark to hit it out the park right there for Kendrick Rhymes. Lights out.
You'll see this right here. The young sophomore, one cut, turn on the Jets. Nobody's going to catch him. They found a crease. And as you said, Kendrick Rhymes turned off the lights.
I think of Teddy P when you say turn them off. But what a decision, too, to go right back to Kendrick Rhymes, right? He made the catch just a couple yards short of the first down, and then hand it back off to him. Boom. And that was what we expected to see of Southern all game long, right? A good dose of on the ground. Harold Blood was 5 of 6 on that drive. And so it was a good mixture to open things up. And, oh yeah, that's getting the Southern fans going. Watch out when Jaguar Nation wakes up. Oh, oh, oh.
We know there's no other party in city that like New Orleans or Baton Rouge, the way they get it going down here, the culture, the food, everything that you want to have a good time. And we know it. It's been every time since we've been here. It's been, oh, what do you need? How can we help you? Anything else? You know, our camera guys and our producers said when they took some tailgate footage, everybody kept offering something to eat. You want something to drink? You want something to eat? Save me a plate. I'm coming to get it post game. But Baton Rouge is showing off today, and the Jaguar fans have something to celebrate as their team has made this a one-score game.
And this is what you expect out of a rivalry, right? Eric Dooley said, look, I'm telling our guys, this is wartime. This is wartime.
When you think about it, even though Jackson State hadn't really lost a conference game in 2 years, their 2 toughest games came to Southern University here. You see guys having a good time. I remember probably Shedeur Sanders had to pull out a miracle here 2 years ago. So they compete with Jackson State. It's not just who the coaches are, it's what that uniform says and what it stands for. And as we said in the open, Southern and Jackson State just don't like each other.
Not at all. In fact, some of the players talked about why they went to their respective schools. And they said, well, look, sometimes when I think about Southern, I just get this unsettled feeling, right? As this one is takeoff. Hold up. Wait a Andre Hunt, what a move! Oh, baby, to the house! Yes, sir! No flags. Take off for Andre Hunt.
And he ran about 100 yards. He went from one side of the field all the way to the other sideline. Got some blocks, and he had another gear. The senior from Palmdale, California. That's one of those ones you say, hey, no excuses. Everybody on that field had a chance to catch him. He just outran all of them.
Gerardo Beza on to attempt the extra point. It goes through, and just like that, Jackson State creates some separation, just like Andre Hunt did.
Reverse sweep right in the front of the JSU bench. Sees daylight, decides to weave and wiggle, and watch him turn on the jets. You're not gonna catch me, son. I'm too fast for ya. Touchdown, JSU.
Donald's, Sonny the Tigers, getting his little baby cubs ready. They start them young, Jay. They start them young.
Man, I'm up here thinking, like, okay, these are little baby Jaguars, but those are baby Tigers.
Yeah.
That's JSU. They take them on the road.
See, the stripes are different than like the spotting.
Fumble.
It's on the ball, scooped up by Jackson State, and they recover it. It's Isaac Peppers on the recovery, but Antonio Doyle, and you talked about the defensive line for Jackson State, the pressure that they've gotten up front all game long, and they're having Harold Blood cough it up.
And, he's there, he's holding on to the ball, and this is where you need ball protection. Two hands on that ball as you step forward. Just a good job on the strip at the line of scrimmage, and puts a lot of pressure on your defensive backs, but they have some really good cornerbacks they think are very talented.
Jason Brown
got the play they needed.
Has the pressure, gets away from it, throws it up into the end zone, and nearly caught in the back.
Anytime you can play running back in an option style system, you know he's got great balance. Very comfortable running in between the tackles, and I think it's time for him to get another mulligan. Give him the ball, see if he can get the end zone.
Well, it keeps turning forward. And not much room to run. That'll bring up 3rd and goal. Irv Mulligan, who came into this game, 187 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Our stats monitor has been down throughout the ball game, so we don't have his specific numbers, but if you're just watching, you see the impact that he makes on this offensive unit. Seven McGee in motion. Brown looking to his right side. Oh! Nearly intercepted by Kristen Davis. Good jump on the ball. He saw that was airmailed right to Seven McGee and nearly picked off by Davis.
Yeah, and Brown has to speed that up a little bit. You're on the goal line. So any type of throw you make, you want it to be quick. He was open, he separated, but he waited to release the football. Very fortunate that Davis didn't pick that and keep running with it.
4th and goal, and the offense stays on the field. Not electing to take the 3 points, but on the 2-yard line. And there's Irv Mulligan pushing on in. Irv Mulligan has been an impact difference. You've got to take a look at Irv Mulligan as we get another look here on this touchdown run. Was his knee down?
Knee was down short of the goal line. I think we saw that, but I think he had already crossed. Where was the football?
If we see it again, slowed down, perhaps we can see where the ball is when that knee goes down.
And the call on the field was touchdown, so you need to see conclusive. Knee is down. Whoa!
It looks like from that angle he's short.
He's short. I believe he's short.
Okay, let's look at it one more time as we're running it back here.
And are we sure? Knees
Boom.
down. Yeah.
Okay, Jay, you said conclusive. Indisputable evidence. How much you gonna put on that was not a touchdown?
Is there enough to say?
Is it like a drink after the game? You gonna put a stack on it?
Put a cigar on it?
Yeah.
You know, I think they're gonna overturn it. I think they're gonna overturn it. I think the knee. I'd love to see it again, but I thought we had one angle where we saw pretty clearly that knee and hip was down. Doesn't necessarily have to be the knee; it could be the hip.
All right.
Was down, and the ball was short. I saw that angle. Now they tried to cloud my mind and make me second guess myself, but I thought I saw a look in which you could say he's short.
And look, we've had some close calls throughout this game.
This is the one right here where you see knee down short, and it's that follow through.
Let's see what Preston Clipper says.
After further review, the runner's shin was down and the ball did not cross the goal line.
Give me my stick.
Results of the play, the turnover on downs. Southern, first down.
And I see Jaguar fans leaving the stadium. I don't think they understand what just happened. They just took points off the board, and your team has the ball down by just 13, so they've got life again.
They'll start from just outside their goal line, so they've got to be able to try to give themselves some breathing room. They say don't leave just yet.
Yeah. If you're Southern, get excited. You've got an opportunity. Play with a sense of urgency. We've been given hope in this game right now. Let's see if they can make the most of it.
They have to drive the entire length of the field to come up. And a good little run and tripped up.
He almost gassed him. He almost found a crease, and that's good. You got some breathing room. Positive yards on first down, and you have to like the emergence of Kendrick Rhymes. There, as you see this, look, how close was it? Blood was ready to release the football, but it seemed like Howard might have ran a different route. Nothing that Harold Blood could do there but tuck it and run.
Let's also point out number 60, Bernard Childs, back into the ball game. We saw him go down earlier, so now the starting center who's been delivering snaps to Harold Blood. There's a comfort there as feeling uncomfortable. The pressure brought and the pass unloaded and incomplete. There were a number of white jerseys in the face, including Antonio Doyle and then Anthony Petty there on the pass breakup.
That's the thing. They just cannot protect. I mean, I'd give credit. The strength of this Jackson State defense is their D lineman. We knew that coming into the season. But we always wondered, hey, how good would they be in the secondary? Look at number 90, just True Thompson coming hard up the middle, forcing Blood to leave the pocket. They've just been active all night on this defensive front.
Oh! Into the hands of Jaheim Hazel, but he was out of bounds as now another.
That's close.
Yeah.
He had the interception. I think they're saying he's out of bounds. Did he get a foot down? I think that's going to be the key. Ball is tipped.
Off the hands of Howard, and it looks right there.
That's an interception. That's a pick. He secures that football.
We'll again, Jaheim Hazel is a guy that NFL scouts have been very interested in, and we've seen through the first 3 weeks why. Another look here. His foot appears to be inbounds. He brings in the ball,
he
has
secures
control.
It, doesn't move.
Yeah.
That's an interception. That is an interception.
And I think the guys upstairs saw it too.
Under further review.
And this should be a pretty quick one. But what a great job. It was a matter of where his feet in. I thought I saw the play in real time. I said, oh, he secured that football out of bounds, but the foot was down.
And he just kept his eyes on the ball too. I mean, that was a great play as well off the carom of the hands of Jalen Howard. And just controlled the body well enough.
That is a great play by Hazel, and his NFL stock continues to rise.
What about these Wofford transfers? You know, Jaheim Hazel and Irv Mulligan played at Wofford, transferred in, kind of became a package deal, and they have been two bright spots for the Tigers so far this season.
They have been great finds, and we talked about JSU in prior weeks, the fact that they have the #2 recruiting class in all of FCS football and the #1 HBCU recruiting class overall by rankings, and they've got a talented bunch. And everybody was asking, hey, coming in, was Florida A&M that good, or was this JSU that bad? I said, well, we're going to find out tonight. And I think some of the things we know about JSU, that defensive line's as good as advertised. They can get after you. They've got some skilled guys. I think they still need an emergence of Jason Brown, but Irv Mulligan has stepped up to be a force in this conference.
You just think about the great defenders who have come through the program over the last few years. James Houston, who was a problem up front. We saw Cameron Silman Craig, who was great in that secondary for them. Shiloh Sanders, and then last year, Aubrey Miller Jr. I mean,
you're missing a big name.
Isaiah Bolden?
No. Travis Hunter.
Oh, well.
Travis Hunter played for Jackson State last year.
He did, and he made an impact. Don't get me wrong. But there were a lot of other guys on that defense who were consistently doing it because he was injured for a portion of the season.
If you're Eric Dooley, this one's going to hurt.
After further review, the pass was intercepted on the sideline by a Jackson State player. It's going to be first down, Jackson State at the 32-yard line.
We are exactly what you think.
May very well seal it. Eric Dooley in his second season, two-time graduate of Southern University. Both coaches on the sidelines for their alma mater. Handoff to Mulligan, wrapped up by a number of Columbia blue jerseys. That's Southern blue.
That's Southern blue. It's like, it almost reminds me of that UCLA powder blue. They've got the Southern Columbia blue. One of the more unique color combinations you'll see.
And Jason Brown started off his career in it.
Asked him, what was your record as a quarterback versus Southern? And he said, let me think about that. And he was 1-1. And he said they had a loaded team at JSU. They won the championship, and they still lost to Southern that year.
Irv Mulligan with another strong run. Horatio.
If RPMs raise your BPMs.
They're keeping the electricity on. The lights are staying on for a little while longer. It's still going to come down to, hey, is this offensive line going to be able to keep Harold Blood upright? Give him a clean pocket back. Had him draped like wallpaper. But that's that one, you take that shot. But maybe, you know, where college football's changed is you don't want balls going deep out of bounds. They tell you, just throw it on the back shoulder. Let them go up and try and make a 50-50 ball. When you got tall wide receivers, you don't want to overthrow them down the field, underthrow them a little bit so they can jump.
Harold Blood takes off, gets first down a little bit more, and skirts out of bounds. Cross midfield.
Gets across midfield to the 47-yard line off Jackson State for Southern. First down.
And so this is a chance for the college graduate Harold Blood to build his name and legacy in this season. Blood looking, can't escape the pressure. Nowhere to go as Philip Webb sacked him.
I mean, that's just your left tackle getting beat. You got to step up, make play, games on the line, stand up tackle there. Poor footwork, you get exposed, and Eli Fields gives up a big sack at a crucial point of this game.
Now I'm going to say this, Jay, yeah, down 2 scores, but if I'm Southern, I'm thinking about trying to move a little bit quicker here. Given it's under 3 minutes now. Blood pass complete, had some open room more as Kendrick Grimes was led to the sideline. Stops the clock.
You see that he's thinking, should have fought a little harder to stay inbound. Gear down, and they had probably about 10 more yards of space in front of him. Watch number 97, middle of the defensive line. This is where he likes to attack.
Throwing off his back foot and out of bounds. So that was True Thompson coming to bring the pressure up front, and now this is the ball game right here. 4th and 11.
And what a luxury it is when you can say, I can have 7 people play defense in the secondary, and the front 4 just go attack the football. Find the quarterback with the ball, and that's been the story all night. You know, they're not doing any blitzing. They've got zone coverage behind it, and they're just letting the front 4 attack.
Blood has a man.
15 seconds that are going to tick off in between plays.
They can snap the ball, and should be a penalty against Jackson State. They didn't see it as Devontae Davis was trying to run off. Wasn't able to do so before the ball was snapped. And they do see it.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, you'll see right there around the 35-yard line, Davis is in, that he's trying to get off, and the ball snapped. Happened right in front of the side judge, so should be a first down now for Southern University.
Indeed it is, and they spot the ball at the 14-yard line of JSU. Blood tucks it, lets it go. Oh! Out of the hands of Clay, who runs into, Ed McGee, who runs into the cameraman along the sideline.
It would have been a great catch if he were able to come up with it. No, a little contact in the end zone. Incoming. How about this?
Right into your living rooms. Nate, standing strong, standing tall, man. Way to take a licking and keep on ticking.
We may be down a camera.
Blood lofts it up to the back of the end zone, and just too tall for Kendrick Grimes.
Kendrick Grimes.
So take a look here. After he gets hit, we're coming back to you, Nate. Way to fix the equipment and give us that coverage that we need there. And
he's right on top of it, and now he's giving us this great push in from the field view. 3rd and 10. Can Southern get it in the end zone? Oh! Just telegraph waiting for Gary Quarles was John Huggins.
I mean, you can't throw the ball this late in the flat. And this is behind the line of scrimmage, and Huggins plays it perfectly. You wait, and you come up and put a popping on him. Look at TC. He knows that's physical play from your secondary.
Fourth and 10. Blood looking, and nothing doing. Turnover on downs for Southern. Jackson State will get the ball back with under a minute to go, and the fans that traveled a little more than 2.5 hours to Baton Rouge will celebrate. And Eric Dooley has to figure things out for this Southern Jaguar team. Last weekend they put up 10 points against Alabama State. Tonight 14 against Jackson State. And while it doesn't count as a conference game, you always want to try to take down your rival. It was Jackson State who put together a full 4 quarters of football tonight.
TC Taylor.
The Tigers take down Southern 27-14 here at A.W. Mumford Stadium.
Those are 2 traditional programs and 2 of the coaching stars, a star in making in TC Taylor. They come in here and take on a very game Southern University football team.
In elementary school, I went to get my school picture made, and everybody was kind of dressed up and wearing what they're supposed